Hi Stampers, it's Liz Holloway at stampersplus.com and welcome to my video tutorial on colored vellum. I will also show you how to create the sun rays here. You'll find all the measurements at the end of the blog, and you can follow along after you finish cutting them up. So let's get started. What you're going to need is various monochromatic designer papers, and what I did was I cut this at 4 1/4 by 1 inch and then cut at them at a diagonal shape from the lower corner to the upper corner. Okay, then what you're going to do is you're going to cut a 3 3/4 by 1 1/2 whisper white. Take your anywhere glue stick and you're going to apply this glue across the whole entire surface. Okay. Then take your various pre-cut designer paper and lay them just as you would onto the whisper white. Now I recommend that you follow the straight edge first and then alternating with various designer papers that you have. Now don't worry about it overhanging, and you want it overhanging because we're going to trim it off in a few minutes. The next piece. Now I'm going to make this longer because it's not hanging over this edge. And I'm just using 2 different designer papers, same pattern. Because our pattern paper are double-sided, it's easier to work it this way. Okay, and I'm just going to add that. And then my next one would be this. And then this color here. And if you have a strip over here, you can either cover it up with designer paper, or you can, in this case I am going to cover it up. Okay. Then what you're going to do is you're going to turn it over and trim the excess. That didn't stick on, so I'm going to put more anywhere glue. Oops. Oh well, that's okay. You get the drift. Okay, it doesn't want to stay on. So anyways, but if this is the problem, so what you're going to also end up doing is just take your sponge dauber and shade in the rays. Okay, just like so. Trim out this a little bit more. You can use your paper trimmer too, but for the sake of the video, I'm just going to hand cut mine. And then you're going to take your 1 3/4 inch circle and punch it out in So Saffron, again highlighting the edge with your sponge. And then apply cool. And then this edge I'm going to make a little bit darker with So Saffron. Okay. So then I'm going to take your 5 1/8 and 3 7/8 Kiwi Kiss and apply that as a mat. take your designer bottom, and this measures 3 3/4 by 1 3/4 inch. And I'm going to apply that at the bottom. So then, with the colored vellum, I'm going to set this aside. With the to color your vellum, all you're going to do is stamp an image that is outlined, and stamp it with Whisper White ink, and then heat emboss it with the white powder. Now, to cut them out, why you see these dots here, I'm actually going to show you a trick on this. Now, what I have done, then thank you to my downline Bev, she's the one who showed me this, is that I placed a dot on my rubber, and I also placed a dot on my framelits, where when I'm stamping, I put a dot on this side and on the other side, and whenever I'm stamping, I'm going to make sure that it's going to line up like so. So whenever I'm cutting it out, I'm not constantly moving this around. It's going to be a faster and easier way. So when I'm cutting this up, bring out my Big Shot. And because I've had already pre-stamped, heat, and embossed, I'm going to take this pre-stamped image, and I placed a dot there already. Okay, so then what I am going to do is match that dot, and you see how fast the alignment is with the flower. I'm going to run this right through the Big Shot. Perfect cut alignment every single time. Okay. Alright. Okay, to color your vellum, what you need to do is pick any colors that you want from your markers or Sharpie pens, whatever you want. This is the embossed side, the shiny side. Now, if you flip it over on the back, I'm going to color this with a Sharpie pen, because I want it more of a color showing up, more chrome. And all you're gonna do is keep coloring. There's no rhyme or reason as to how much you want to color. Just color the whole backing. Okay, and then when you're flipping it over, you got a soft, subtle look. You can see that? A soft, subtle look. Now, when I flipped it back to the right side, and wherever I want the colors to show more prominent color, I'm going to highlight. Now, my sun is coming down this way, so I'm going to actually shade certain areas. You can use your marker pens as well, but I find that the Sharpie pens dries a little bit quicker. And I'm just highlighting certain areas that I want more shade. If you want more, you can add more, which I've done so here. Okay, so you get the drift. So it's more, if you color it on this side, it's more darker on both sides. Okay, so there's the right side, here's the wrong side. So the wrong side is more of a subtle look, whereas the color on the right side is more of a bright color that you want. Okay, so what I'm going to do is then take my card and actually pop this up with a pop dot or dimensionals, which I have here. And to create the leaves, all I did was I took the mosaic punch and punch it out. Then you're going to fold this in half. Okay, take your pair of scissors and just make little small wedges. unfold. And all I did was I took my Always artichoke ink and just sponge the edges. Now the leaves, and then I took the artichoke marker pen, just creating a subtle lines, because leaves are not plain, they got lines through. And then take your tape and add leaves here and there. So here's one. I'm going to add another. Well, I thought I had 2 other leaves cut out, but I don't. But here is the finished card. So I hope you enjoyed this video and come back for more. Thank you.